back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing another kind of palette comparison. Not that I've ever done one of these, but I did a lip gloss comparison in the past. So that's what I'm doing today. I also have this really dramatic, crazy eye look on, perfect for the palettes I'm going to be reviewing, because these are some very colorful, very fun palettes. So the first one I have is by BH Cosmetics, and it is the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition Palette. And the second one I have is the Violet Voss, the Rainbow Palette. So I'm going to be just comparing these and kind of choosing which one I liked best and just talking about them. Now, this is the lower price point palette. So it is the Take Me Back to Brazil Rio Edition BH Cosmetics palette. This one is $18 from Ulta, which is where I purchased it. However, it's, I believe, $11 on the BH Cosmetics website, which I found a bit odd, but okay. Anyway, you open it up, it just slides right out of the box. It's got 35 shadows. First of all, the packaging is gorgeous. You can't quite tell on camera, but it's got this kind of 3D glitter you can feel. It's just really beautiful packaging. It has 35 shades, which include two kind of shimmery white shades that are good for blending or setting down, inner corner, anything like that, and another black shade that's good for blending the colors as well. Also, it does have a quite large mirror. You can see that. So the Violet Voss Rainbow Palette, this one retails for $30. Yeah. And you open up the box. The box is taped down, which is actually quite odd for a palette, but maybe it's just so people don't steal it in the store or something. Then it comes in another kind of box component. And then you have the palette here. This packaging is also pretty nice. Personally, if I was basing it off packaging, I do like this one a little bit more. It's just more fun. But this one almost looks like rainbow kind of water, droplets. You open it up. This one clearly has way less shades than the BH Cosmetics one. We've got 10 shades. This one also does have a really nice mirror. You can see me right there. Hi. And yeah, but obviously there's a lot less shades than the other one. So the reason I am comparing these two though is because they do have a lot of the same colors, and I just wanted to talk about, the different price points. So yeah, they both have pinks, blues, purples, golds, blacks, white, yellow or golden yellow, peachy orange. So obviously, with the Violet Voss, there is only one of each shade. So one pink, there's two blues. There's a darker blue, a lighter blue, there's two purples. But for the most part, there's one of each, one orangey, one yellow. This is more green than it looks on camera, so one green, one pink, one white, one black. And then of course we do have two purples and two blues, but one is a much darker blue. Whereas the BH Cosmetics does have a variety of colors. So you do have several shades of pink. You get into a more reddy color. You got yellow, orange, all sorts of shade. You can go from a light pink to a hot pink, kind of a darker green to a lighter green. So there is a lot of shade range in this palette. Now the thing, oh by the way, what I have on my eyes today is from, with the exception of the green, this is a highlighter that I reviewed already, but the purple and the blue are from the Violet Voss palette. Now, the first thing right off the bat that I really noticed was that with the BH Cosmetics palette, whereas it's beautiful, it has so many shades to choose from, you do have to really, build up that color. You have to wet your brush, or you have to, if you're using your finger, take it in there several times, swipe it over your eye a bunch of times. So it is not as pigmented as some palettes are. Specifically, when you get into colors, that's when you really want something to be pigmented, because if I'm going to wear a bright color, I don't want it to be lighter in some areas or just not pigmented. So that's a really important thing to know. However, once you do build it up, if you dab it over your eyes, I'd say 5 or 6, 7 times, then you do get a beautiful color, but you do have to work for it. And of course, the pans are much smaller in this palette, so obviously, I mean, maybe you're not going to use every single shade of pink, but maybe you have a favorite one. If you have to dab into it several times, you are going to run out of that one faster, of course. So that's something like definitely worth noting. And then over here in the Violet Voss palette, definitely very pigmented for color. I do still like to go back into my eyes maybe 2 or 3 times, but definitely if you just wanted a normal amount of color, this one is perfect. You literally just put it on your eyes once, and you do have a good amount of pigment. Now obviously we did already note that there's a lot less shades in this palette, so you don't get to choose like what kind of shade range you're going for. You got like a hot pink, you're not going to have like a lighter pink. But with that being said, even though there are less shades, the pans are much larger. So in my opinion, you do get, I would say, about the same amount of shadow from each palette, which is hard when you look at it and see that this one is bigger and has more shades. You automatically think, well, there's more product in this one. But if you really think about it and you look at the pans and you look at the pans over here, I would say probably about 4 or 5, I would say maybe even 6 of these equal 1 pan of these. So definitely you're not getting more product from one than the other. I'm trying to see. Doesn't quite have like a size on here. Maybe you do get a little bit more in this one, but overall, like as a whole, it looks like this has a lot more than this one, which is not true. If you really compare it, they're almost equal. So definitely, one thing worth noting is that both do come with that like very shimmery white shade, and then, well, this one has a shimmery black one. The other one has a matte black, but they both have like this, actually there is a little bit of shimmer in this black, this black shade and this like shimmery white shades, and that's something really great from a colorful palette. I have seen other colorful palettes out on the market that don't have those shades, and personally for me, if I'm wearing a lot of color, I either need like, if I'm wearing dark colors, I need a little bit of black to just blend things out or even use as a liner, or if I'm using a lot of lighter colors, I need a little bit of white either to intensify the color or to like, kind of like blend out or use as a highlight. Those are all very important to me. So I am glad that both of those have those shades, because that's just really important when you're looking for a colorful palette. So overall, the good things about this palette, whoa, it's upside down, about this palette is that there is a lot of shades to choose from. So you don't have to go for an intense hot pink or an intense blue or anything like that. You can choose a lighter shade, or it even can go with your makeup. If you're wearing lighter colors, you go with a lighter, like blue or pink or green or whatever. If you're wearing darker colors, you can go with the darker shades of eyeshadows. So that is the good thing about this one. You have a lot of options to choose from. The other good thing is that you do have like these 2 different shimmer shades to choose from. You have your black to blend it out with. You can build it up, or if you're not so super into color, you can just leave it a little bit lighter, not as pigmented, and that's a good way to kind of get into using color on your eyes. Now the good things about this palette is, and also this one is obviously cheaper than the other one, so that's another good thing about this one. Now the good things about this palette are that it has very large pans, so you do get a lot of product, especially if you really like a certain color. You get a lot of product. You don't have to worry about the color you use the most is going to run out. Another good thing is it's very pigmented, very intense, so you do get that intense color that obviously if you're buying this palette you might want. It has that black and that white shade that are great for blending, for using as a highlight, using as an eyeliner, anything along those lines. And then it's just very shimmery, and it's just really intense. So if you're somebody who likes intense looks, that is a perk, of course. Now, negatives about each palette. The negative things about this palette in particular is that the pans are very small, so you don't get as much product. You can easily run out of the colors you like. Another negative about this one is, I know I said it was a positive that you can build it up or leave it without much color, but if you are somebody who wants a lot of color, which is maybe why you bought this palette in the first place, then it's not super pigmented, so you're going to have to build it up, and that just takes a little longer, a little more work, that's fine for some people, but at the same time, if I'm buying a colorful eyeshadow palette, I'm going to expect the colors to be pigmented, so that is a negative about this one. Now, negative things over here, of course, this one is a little bit more costly, so definitely, it's a matter of, do you want to spend a little bit more for more pigmentation, or do you want to just not spend as much and just have to build up the color? So negative thing here is, of course, you don't have as many color options. You have, one pink, one like orangey, peachy, one green, one yellow. You do have options with the blue and the purple, but at the same time, you don't have as many options as in the BH Cosmetics palette. So that's definitely a negative. And then the other negative, which is not necessarily a negative for everyone, but just something I think is a little bit like meh, is that the black shade you have is sparkly. So you can't really use it for everything. Like, I wouldn't use a sparkly color in my crease or anything like that. So that's just one thing to note. Definitely my personal winner for what I like and for the looks that I do and someone who's experienced with using color on my eyes is the Violet Voss palette. Now, I know that it is a little bit more costly. I know you do have less color options, but I'm okay with that. I purchased this palette because I saw the colors inside of it and I said, yeah, I will use these. And I love the intense pigmentation of it. So yeah, I was willing to splurge a little bit more on this one. However, I also, with that being said, love the BH Cosmetics palette. I think I can use this for a little bit like looks that are a little less intense. I think that anybody starting out with makeup, or maybe not even with makeup, maybe even wearing makeup for years, but you want to experiment with color, this is the perfect palette for that. And I also, of course, love that it's a little less pricey than the other one. So definitely for me, both palettes are a win. Obviously, I wouldn't have purchased them if I didn't think they were a win. And of course, the Violet Voss just has that little something extra that really pushed it over the edge for me, but both are really great palettes. I really recommend them both, and especially it just depends on who you are and what you like. So obviously, like I said, more intense makeup, a lot of color, get the Violet Voss. Wanting to play with colors, see what you like, see how pigmented you want it to be, get the BH Cosmetics. But overall, I really love both of these palettes. So comment down below which palette you would buy, or if you have bought one of them, which one you bought. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a video. And don't forget, it is December of videos here on my channel. You will get a new video every day in December. I'll try my best because I know I've been slacking a little. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.